Welcome to the Metabolic Maestro podcast, where we help you orchestrate your metabolism one note at a time. I'm Kathleen, a synthesized voice Bob has chosen to narrate his podcast. This is episode 13, Demand, Regulation, and Capacity in Metabolism, the 13th episode in the Metabolic Orchestra series. So far, we've explored how energy is made, how electrons flow through mitochondria, ATP is produced, and why efficiency matters more than raw output. Now we need to address what happens when the system is asked to do too much. Mitochondria rarely fail because they are weak. They fail when demand exceeds what they can safely handle. Part 1. Energy pressure and electron flow. Every ATP molecule is produced by carefully controlled electron movement. When electrons flow smoothly, energy is clean, efficient, and stable. When flow is forced, by nutrients, hormones, or stimulation, electrons can leak, creating reactive oxygen species. Metabolic noise, such as inefficiencies, conflicting signals, and minor stresses. Subtle inflammation. And long-term wear. Reactive oxygen species are not the problem itself. They are the signal that the system is under strain. The effects are subtle, but you may notice fatigue or low energy, even with normal activity, difficulty concentrating, sore muscles, stiff joints, or occasional headaches, slower recovery from exercise or minor injuries, or a greater sensitivity to stress. These are not dramatic symptoms, but they are signals that the energy system is being pushed faster than it can safely handle. Part 2. 3 ways the energy system is influenced. Metabolism is shaped in 3 ways. 1. Demand, signals that tell mitochondria to produce more. 2. Regulation, factors that stabilize and protect mitochondrial function. 3. Capacity, factors that expand the system's ability to handle electrons. Confusion or imbalance among these 3 creates pressure. Part 3. Regulators, stabilizing energy production. Regulators keep energy production smooth. Taurine stabilizes calcium in mitochondria and supports membrane integrity. Magnesium coordinates ATP reactions and prevent chaos. Vitamin C absorbs excess oxidative activity. Methylene blue stabilizes electron flow, lowering electron backlog and reducing reactive oxygen species. Regulators do not increase output. They allow mitochondria to work efficiently and safely. Part 4. Metabolic accelerators, pushing the energy system. Chronic glucose spikes, insulin surges, certain hormones, and amino acids like isoleucine raise energy demand. These accelerators tell mitochondria to run faster and the cell to build more. They're signals, not just calories, and they primarily work through growth pathways like mTOR, insulin, and insulin-like growth factor 1. Some of the strongest nutrient-based accelerators are the branch-chain amino acids, particularly isoleucine, leucine, and valine. They don't overload the system with calories. They overload it with instructions, directly stimulating mTOR. Carbohydrates, especially glucose, act as accelerators by spiking insulin, signaling cells to take up nutrients and grow. Hormones such as insulin, like growth factor 1 and growth hormone, amplify these effects, driving tissue growth and increasing metabolic throughput. Lifestyle and environmental factors can also accelerate the system. High-intensity exercise, constant caloric abundance, and certain stimulants push mitochondria to work harder and increase energy demand. Even supplements that usually stabilize energy production, like methylene blue or CoQ10, can act as accelerators if demand signals are high, allowing the system to process more fuel and electrons. The key point is that accelerators are necessary for growth, repair, and energy production. But when they are constant or combined without balance, they increase metabolic pressure. Electron flow is pushed faster than it can be safely handled, efficiency drops, and oxidative stress rises. Healthy metabolism depends on timing, moderation, and pairing accelerators with regulators and capacity enhancers to avoid chronic mitochondrial stress. Aging accelerates not from energy production itself, but from growth signals and hormones repeatedly asking mitochondria to do more than they can safely sustain. Part 5. Metabolic regulators, keeping the system stable. Regulators help mitochondria work efficiently by stabilizing energy production and reducing stress. They don't push output or growth. They ensure that what the mitochondria do is safe and sustainable. Key regulators include taurine, magnesium, vitamin C, and methylene blue. Taurine stabilizes calcium within mitochondria, preventing chaotic signaling. Magnesium coordinates ATP reactions, keeping enzymatic activity smooth. Vitamin C absorbs excess reactive oxygen species, supporting redox balance. Methylene blue, in addition to enhancing capacity, stabilizes electron flow, lowering oxidative stress when the system is under pressure. Regulators are essential for efficiency and resilience. They don't accelerate the system, but they prevent wear and tear from chronic acceleration. In essence, they allow mitochondria to do the same work with less stress, supporting long-term metabolic health. Part 6. Capacity enhancers. Expanding energy potential. Capacity enhancers improve mitochondria's ability to handle electrons and produce ATP without necessarily telling the system to grow. They widen the pathway for energy flow, making the system more robust. Examples include near-red and near-infrared light, which directly improve electron transport efficiency and nitric oxide signaling, and exercise adaptations, which increase mitochondrial density. Methylene blue also functions here, shuttling electrons more efficiently through the electron transport chain. Capacity enhancement is highly beneficial, but it must be paired with restraint and regulation. If accelerators are constantly signaling growth, widening the system allows even more throughput, which can maintain high metabolic pressure rather than promoting balance. With chronic upregulation, the system never idles, mitochondria never rest, and efficiency gains can be partially offset by continual strain. Key takeaways: balance is everything. Accelerators increase demand and push the system to grow and produce more energy. Regulators stabilize reactions and prevent stress from overactive pathways. Capacity enhancers expand mitochondrial ability, improving throughput and efficiency. Healthy metabolism depends on timing, moderation, and pairing all three. Mitochondria thrive not when they are pushed hardest, but when demand matches capacity and enhancement is paired with regulation and periods of quiet. Even interventions designed to help, supplements, red light, exercise, work best when balanced with rest and regulators. Aging is accelerated not by energy production itself, but by growth signals and hormones repeatedly asking mitochondria to do more than they can safely sustain. In closing, health is not about producing the most ATP possible. It is about producing stable, clean ATP over decades. Regulators reduce friction and prevent leak. Accelerators increase demand, telling mitochondria to do more. Capacity enhancers expand potential, allowing electrons to flow more efficiently. Balance among all three is essential. Too much demand or capacity without proper regulation leads to chronic stress. Too much regulation with no output leads to stagnation.